While the Mandibles is not a Bitcoin book, it's very popular in the Bitcoin space. This is because it dives into what the world will look like if we continue down the path that we're on. It's set in the future where the financial burden of the US debt comes to roost. Now, the author admits how her book is different from how things will play out in the real world, is that in her book, it's just a US problem. But in the real world, the dollar is propped up by the entire world. And if the dollar were to fail, that is a world problem, not just a US problem. Now, the silver lining of this whole thing is that in the book, while there was one line that mentioned Bitcoin and it failing or something like that it never amounted to much, Bitcoin is actually a lifeboat for the picture that's painted in this book. So if you want to get a better understanding of why Bitcoiners are concerned with the current path that we're on, this book does a great job of illustrating what that path could possibly look like. For those interested in an overview about the book and are not worried about spoilers, this book follows a family that's actually pretty well to do and just shows how their family's fortune evaporates with the hyperinflation that the US goes through during this future period. And it becomes a very stark warning of what could happen in the near future. Obviously 2029 is when this book starts. It should be noted that while this is a really stark picture that it paints for this well-off family in the United States, this is something that is happening throughout the world right now. There are many currencies throughout the world where people's life savings are eviscerated overnight, losing more than half its value over a very short time period. And that's something that can really devastate societies, and you can see the cultural fabric just unwinding in this book, and that's something that's happening throughout the world. So it is a very dark picture, but again, the lifeboat is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is what makes this future possible to avoid.